Alive, says Somersby. Good afternoon if you've had your lunch. Good morning if you haven't. It doesn't matter about the noon bit, it's only about whether you've had lunch or not. That's all that counts. This is Magic Monday Live, and the date is the 17th of July 2023. Day 17, the best day of the month. Wrong side, that side. Day 17, best day of the month. You would think by now I'd be used to the alternative ways of doing stuff on the screen, but obviously I'm not. So good afternoon everybody, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about apprenticeships. Sounds like a bit of a dull subject, but it's not. Not the way I'm going to talk about it. I've got some funny stories, I've got some thinking to share, and I think we should just crack on. And of course, if you're here, if you're enjoying the banter, if you want me to read your name out, and I hope you want me to read your name out, just put something in the chat and we will mention you. I'll read every comment. Of course I will. Here we go. Oh, why is that not working? I've got to laugh when I look at that and I see my lockdown hair.
It's the start of the week, grab your coffee cups. It's Magic Monday Live.
It's Magic Monday Live. And this morning I heard something on the radio and they were talking about apprenticeships and saying, why aren't apprenticeships used more? And I did an apprenticeship when I was 40 years ago. 40 years ago. I left school this month. Well, actually, it was last month. It was probably a couple of months before because I didn't really do much with my exams. But anyway, I left school 40 years ago and I started my apprenticeship this summer as an apprentice slater and tiler with W. Heppel Roofing Contractors. That later became W. Heppel and Sons Limited Roofing Contractors. But my dad always had this firm belief that if I was going to join the family business, I would do an apprenticeship like my brother did the year before me and like he had. And he was a firm believer in the power of apprenticeships, and he would campaign and he would do, loads and loads of stuff with the National Federation of Roofing Contractors. He would talk a lot about the power of apprenticeships. And when you think about it, apprenticeships are brilliant because not only are you learning, you are also earning, not a lot, but you're earning something, and it's all hands-on. You kind of wonder why apprenticeships aren't used across pretty much every industry. Maybe they are now, I don't know. And I had a look at some of the stats. Apparently there are currently 740,000 people on apprenticeships in, I think this might just be England, the stats that I managed to find today. But there's over 1 million at university. So the question is, degrees or apprenticeships? Or should it be amalgamation of both? Maybe that's the secret. Our daughter, Sarah, she did a degree in marketing and communications. And as part of that, she had to take a year working in an agency. Before that, she worked 1 day a week in an agency. And I have to say, what a difference that made to her. Having that experience. It's all about experience, isn't it, when you think about it? That's what we want. More than anything, we want experience. We want people who know what they're doing, who know what the crack is. That's what we want more than. I've just realised I've had my external headphones on. Have I been echoing? Yeah? Well, no. We're all here. That's all good. It looks like people are here. Thank you. And you can't hear me. So, sorry, I was saying that apprenticeships are great. So my dad was a roofer. And I have to say this, probably the best roofer in the world. Now that's a big claim, isn't it? A big claim to say that. However, you ask anybody who knows anything about the world of roofing, about Bill Heppel, and they will tell you probably the best roofer in the world. He taught the British roofing team who won the world championships. He's the guy who the people who made the slates used to consult with my dad about how to create the manuals and all that type of stuff. So he was brilliant, and he had the best apprenticeship program. And I remember my first 6 months, the only tool that I really got to use was a sweeping brush, and there was this discipline of keeping a site clear all the time. Everything had to be clear, everything had to be cleaned up. At the end of every day, everything had to be immaculate. During the day, if there was, if you ever was stood with nothing to do, there was always a sweeping brush, and you could always go over something. Even if you swept it down just 20 minutes beforehand, sweep it down again. That was the great discipline that you learned. You learn other things like never go up or down a ladder empty-handed, especially up a ladder. What a waste of a journey it is to go up a ladder and be empty-handed. You should always have something on your shoulder. You should always be carrying something up. You should always be saying to the lads, and it was all lads, to the lads, do you need anything? I'm just about to come up the ladder. Do you want anything? And bring something up for them. And they used to, obviously, they take the mick out of the apprentices. That was the part of the course, I guess. Having the mick taken out of you. Some of the jokes were brilliant. One of my favourite ones, which they did, and I got caught with it, was one of the lads once got a nail out of his nail pocket, and it was the wrong way around, so it was pointing towards him. And there was another guy working on the other side of the roof, and he said, "Oh, that must be one for Kevin's side of the roof. Would you mind taking it over to him?" And like an idiot, I just picked up the nail, walked over the top of the roof down this. I said, "Kevin, Paul sent this over for you." And he went, "Oh, right, oh, that's good. Actually, I've got one for him, for his side of the roof. You have to make sure these don't get mixed up too much, Michael." And he gave me a nail pointing the other way. I just imagine like the opposite, out away from the roof with a nail head down towards the roof, and I took that back over, and they must have had me going 4 or 5 times with it throughout the afternoon. Oh, it was brilliant. I learned how to make tea in bulk. I learned how to go shopping, go to fish and chip shop. I learned how to do a lot of stuff, and then eventually you get your first tool. Now the thing with the first tool is you have to buy your own tools. You weren't just given them. And I had a toolbox, and my dad helped me with this. Actually, he made the toolbox for me, but there was 2 things in the toolbox. There was one hammer that I had, and then also there was some knee pads, because sometimes you end up kneeling on a roof with stuff, and knee pads are very important. And I remember having these 2 things in my box. I've still got the box in the garage now with all my roofing gear in. A few weeks ago, I went to do a bit of roofing. Some of you might have seen the picture that I posted of me up on the top of our roof here. It was very high, very, very high. And I went to put my old pockets on, and I thought, did we used to wear these around one leg? Is that what we used to do, just wear them around your thigh? No, it was because I had a 28-inch waist in those days when I was a roofer. I tell you what, I was like that, and I was proper muscled. I mean, because imagine carrying rolls of felt and big bundles of lats and stuff like that up and down ladders, and was doing all that stuff every day, and a mega tan, but your hands were always dirty. That was the thing. Even after a weekend, you still would have dirty hands. It was all ingrained in the back of your nails and stuff like that, which was a bit of a shame. But it was brilliant. It was really, really good. And so there I am. I'm all strong. I'm lean. I'm doing this stuff, but I'm learning, and that's the most important thing. Learning and learning and learning by doing. And my dad's apprenticeship scheme was so good, it was so good that if you were an apprentice roofer who became a slater and tiler, so you did 3 years and you became a slater and tiler, if you'd done that and had on your CV, as it would be, that you have worked for Bill Heppel and done an apprenticeship, you could get a job anywhere. Absolutely anybody at all would want to recruit you. And I used to get a bit annoyed with my dad. I'd say, "You've seen these people, they do the apprenticeship, they get all that learning, they work for you for a couple of years, and they go off somewhere else on the promise of more pay or whatever." And my dad's thinking was brilliant. He was very pragmatic with this type of stuff, and he would say, "But they're good roofers. At least they're going to go off and they're going to put on good roofs. The last thing you want is people going off who aren't very good. Imagine that." And I was like, that is such brilliant thinking. Such brilliant thinking that my dad would have. So that links us to these days. And I think the idea of waiting for 3 years to be qualified with something with an apprenticeship scheme seems a bit of a stretch sometimes for people. A bit too much that they might have to wait for 3 years. Sometimes it's a case of, I want it and I want it now. What's the shortcut? And I've been guilty of this. I've shown, I think it takes a long time to learn how to do something well, really, really well. And I'm accused of teaching people the shortcut. Change your ways in 90 days. Idea the book in 90 days. That type of stuff. But at the end of the day, doing it well, that's the trick, isn't it? Doing it really, really well does need experience. And it also, the great thing about apprenticeship schemes is you've got somebody who's watching over you all the time. So when you fail, they can help you to fix it straight away. Fail and fix. And I remember times when I first started, putting slates on, like proper old-fashioned Welsh slates, and you had to cut them. And I remember sat there, and these slates it was a particular job, and they were brand new Welsh slates, beautiful, brand new Welsh slates, the most expensive roofing product, other than copper or something like that, that you could have, and every single one of them had to count. And I remember doing this thing, and I had to cut an angle on this slate. And I remember putting it down, and I marked it out, and I cut the angle, and I went tap, 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 and I smashed the end off. And this is probably 2 years into my apprenticeship. A guy called Kevin O'Neill said, "Michael, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, that's rubbish." He went, "It's not rubbish. Turn it round. Turn it over the other side now. Now look. It's a small cut. It's all ready. All you got to do is just tidy that up." So what you're going to do, you're going to cut another slate for that side. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. When you think about stuff like that, I don't know if I could have learnt that in a classroom. Definitely couldn't have learnt it on Zoom or something like this. So the practicality, that's the thing. So did you have an apprenticeship? Have you done an apprenticeship? What have you spent more than 3 years learning? 3 years or more? Come on, pop in the comments. I would love to know if you've done an apprenticeship. Or am I wrong? Is it like, Michael, no, the best apprenticeship is going to university. It's really, really brilliant. Don't knock university. It's absolutely fabulous. There is no better there's no better preparation for life than going to uni. Or is an apprenticeship better? When I first started my very first apprenticeship, I think my pay was, from memory, £19 for the first 6 months. And my mum used to take, I think it was £12 board. And I had £8 left. I was absolutely buzzing. And then it went up to 20 something, and then it went up to a bit more. My mum always used to increase the board a little bit every time I got a pay rise. Thanks, Mum. But it was a brilliant discipline. My mum often watches these, so she might be watching this right now. So, should we see who is here? Let's have a little look. Right. Hi, everyone. Noel is here. Noel, have you done an apprenticeship? You'd be the type, I bet you would have. I bet you'll be a fan of apprenticeships. Matthew Bird's here. Hi, everyone. Matt in the land of smiles, Thailand, on mobile data. Oh, my goodness. Wi-Fi is glitchy within the village. He's in the village. Howdy from Hope. Sarah's here. Looking forward to talking this afternoon. I think 4 o'clock probably will be a good idea. Here's Heather. Hello, Heather. Hiya from Greenock. Greenock. Beautiful place. We were talking about apprenticeships on the Team 17 Business Accountability Group last week. Well, now you mentioned 17. It's day 17. For members of Team 17, it's the best day of the month because tonight we will all come together and we'll be having a Team 17 session online. I've got 3 big things that I want to share. 3 big things that I want to share tonight live with Team 17 at 7 o'clock. So please make sure that you're there. Members of Team 17, it's going to be a brilliant one. Hi from Hampshire. Hello. I've been in leasehold management for 12 years and still learning. I know who that is. That must be Angie. Oh, wait a minute. I've missed some out. It's Ruth from the Highlands. Hello, Ruth. And hi, everyone from Witham. So it is Angie. There we go. We've got it. Dean's here. Hi, Michael. Dean from West Sleepburn. Tune in. Now, Dean is one of these people who his expertise that he's built up is phenomenal. Much more than 3 years worth. And he's such a good teacher of it. If you haven't seen Dean do his stuff on Wednesdays in How to Be Brilliant, then go in or just do a little search in How to Be Brilliant. See the stuff that he's talking about. He went back to some basic, brilliant health stuff the other day, and the reminder was so good. I was like, wow, man, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, thank you, Dean. Hello. Hi from Hampshire, that's where we were up to. Sorry. I've been in leasehold management for 12 years, still learning. Hey, we're all learning. I think apprenticeships are great to fail fast. That's the thing, fail fast. And learn those lessons and move forward. Nothing better than on-the-job experience. It's priceless, agree. Done an apprenticeship in sheet metal, still learn up until I retired. See, Noel, I knew you were going to be an apprentice person, definitely. Here's Emma Mackey in sunny Dublin. Wow, that's good. I'll have a little sip of this, hang on. Can't say I did or had an apprenticeship, but got stuck in the job and learned loads each job. Hi, didn't do an apprenticeship, but used to manage the engineer apprenticeships at Ainscow Crane Hire. Great process and thorough training. Now then, Amanda, I know the brothers. Yes, and what a story that is. If you've seen the Ainscow, I think it says Ainscow, not Ainscow Cranes, travelling around, there's loads of them. And what a brilliant, brilliant success story. And Amanda will know about the success story there and what happened, and then the part 2 part. That's the most interesting bit. Right, £12 board. That was a big chunk of your wage. It certainly was, but it was a good discipline. And my mum used to save a little bit for me as well, which was always very nice. No apprenticeship, but spent 3 years learning to be a teacher for my first year as a newly qualified teacher. First wage was £80 and rent was £40 a month. Never stopped learning. I'll have to see who that is. I'll have a look in the Facebook version, see who that is. Dean is brilliant. Couldn't agree more. Hello from the chiropractor's waiting room. I hope you have a cracking time. Oh, there's Southampton in the house. Judging by the comments, I need to watch this one back. Vic, you will love this. This is right up your street because I know you are one of the top people in learning, but I also know how much you love practical learning. Absolutely practical learning and about placements and all that type of stuff. It will be right up your street. So thank you very much for watching today. It's day 17, best day of the month. If you're interested in Team 17, I know for a fact that Sarah McGough will have put the link for Team 17 in here because she's just the queen of marketing and she would never need me to hint that you should be putting the link in for Team 17 when we start talking about it. I would never, ever need to do that as part of your apprenticeship. Whenever I talk about something, put it on, Sarah. Right, here's Matthew. My dad had his apprenticeship age 14 in a grocer's. I have that paperwork. Dad wanted me to do the same. Mum wanted me to go to uni. Mum won. Well done, Mum. I think that certain apprenticeships obviously are brilliant. Certain university courses are brilliant. Find what works for you. There seems to be, I don't think it's there as much, but there used to be a snobbery thing, didn't there, about university? And I think it's disappearing now, and I do hope so. That people who want to go to university want to be going because it's something that they love to do, and it's a passion, and they shouldn't feel like they have to do it. Apprenticeships should be there with the same level of wow, haven't you done brilliantly well? Why don't we do graduations at the end of an apprenticeship? I don't know. Ian Pilbeam's here in that there London. I'm an apprentice husband. How's that going? How is that going? Well, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in today. I will be back next Monday for more Magic Monday Live. Until then, have an absolutely brilliant week. And of course, it is day 17. Be brilliant.